Hey, this is the Day's Day with Mary Jane News, and you're watching This Week in Weed. According to police in Dallas, Texas, two unidentified men have been robbing people by dosing them with synthetic cannabinoids. As of last week, these men have taken out at least 3 people by offering unsuspecting victims a puff of what looks like marijuana. After the targeted person takes a drag of the fake weed, they pass out. The then spice criminals strip their victims of their wallets, purses, or phones and leave them passed out in public. Local residents say this is not the first time that people have weaponized synthetic cannabinoids in Dallas. If anything, the prevalence and abuse of synthetic weed is just another reason why natural cannabis needs to be legalized or decriminalized nationwide. If people can access the real stuff, the demand for synthetics would likely disappear. Earlier this month, Florida joined the 42 other U.S. states that have legalized hemp and all of hemp byproducts. But the new law is also making it difficult for local cops to enforce minor marijuana laws. Florida's new law defines hemp as a cannabis plant containing a THC concentration of 0.3% or less. But the reality is that hemp plants look, smell, and otherwise appear the same as psychoactive marijuana plants, making it difficult for anyone other than a cannabis expert to tell the difference between the two. Most U.S. police departments do not have the means to scientifically determine whether a cannabis plant is hemp or if it's weed. Standard drug tests can detect if THC is present, but not how much. Without the specific detail, police cannot prove whether a seized cannabis sample is actually hemp or if it's marijuana. Last week, State Attorney Phil Archer issued a memo saying that his office will not prosecute minor pot possession cases unless cops can provide lab results showing the exact amount of THC in the seized flower. As a result, this new policy may technically make it harder for cops to use the excuse of the smell of weed to make traffic stops. A recent study published in the Harm Reduction Journal looked at 278 individuals who claimed that they have microdosed psilocybin, or magic mushrooms, LSD, or a combination of the two. Of the 278 participants, 93% ranked improved mood as microdosing's most important benefit. Just under half of all respondents reported that microdosing improvements on meditative practice and exercise routines were the most important to them, while 28% said that getting better sleep ranked the highest. Respondents also reported that they consume less caffeine, less alcohol, less tobacco, and also less cannabis after microdosing. A second microdosing paper was published in the Journal of Psychopharmacology and found that microdosing psychedelics led to decreased depression and stress, decreased mind wandering, increased absorption, and increased neuroticism. Like cannabis, however, most of the available information about psychedelics is anecdotal. And that's not likely going to change until federal prohibition on these substances finally ends. For more on this story and other cannabis and psychedelics related news, head over to maryjane.com. This is the Day's Day from Mary Jane News. Godspeed and good weed.